I honestly didn't know that I was going to be able to record this video today, but with my help from the plants, from the spirit, from myself, I was able to pull it together. And these cards are a reaffirmation of why I was able to pull it together, and also just true. They're always true. They always hit me as true. I don't know if they're true for everybody, and that's fine. This video might not be for everybody. This video is going to be just in line with the Scorpio moon, and I'm just going to lay it out for what it was for me today, on the off chance that maybe my journey will help somebody else just by me speaking it. Trying to find the balance between the necessity to help others and the necessity to help myself. But these cards are pretty significant to me, so I'm excited to speak about them. First, I want to start with Heather, diligence and solitude. So this is one of these brown cards, and that's speaking to the earth, the dirt, the nourishment, everything that holds us, everything that creates all the abundance that we have and that we are. So this card, speaking to exactly what I had to do today. You know, I have so many plans, so many things that I want to do all the time. And sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you are stopped dead in your tracks and there's nothing that you can do about it. And today was one of those days for me. My mom has Alzheimer's. She's 65. And for Christmas, I got her a coloring book because sometimes it's hard for her to start the videos. She doesn't have much else to do except watch videos. And when she can't start the videos, she has nothing to do. So I tried to get her a coloring book to give her something to do in the times where she can't figure other things out. And today she called me in a panic because she couldn't figure it out. I could tell her over and over again to pick up the marker and to put it in her hand and to touch it to the book, and she couldn't. She would pick up the marker and then she wouldn't know why she picked up the marker. And even if I told her over and over again, she couldn't tell why. And my heart just ripped open because it's getting to the point where she can't do simple things. And that's really hard to deal with. And then I'm thinking about Puerto Rico and how there was all this aid sent to the people, and they're just finding it now in a warehouse in the south side of Puerto Rico where the epicenter of the earthquakes are. And they have the nerve to have police standing outside guarding that stuff and not giving it to the people. And then they have the nerve to portray the people as mobs coming out and because they're trying to get the aid that they need. And I'm just, all this to say, the crippling weight of what it feels like to know that someone just wants you dead, just wants you dead. Someone, an ominous someone, maybe not anyone directly, but the policies that are enacted create this knowledge that it just wants people to get out of the way. So I became overwhelmed and crippled and couldn't move and was crying and was hurting myself physically, which is what a lot of people actually do when they are getting into extreme pain, is they start hurting themselves, not necessarily others. And I couldn't do anything. I just sat in the solitude of the inability to do anything that I needed and wanted to do, and to focus my energy on the things that are most important to me, because I just didn't want to live in a place like this anymore. And that's not going to help me. That's not going to help my mom, but it's a fact. So I melted onto the ground and I felt the earth, and I felt like, can I just dissolve into that? Can I dissolve into that solitude? And then High Priestess comes through, and that's that part of me that I've been cultivating, that everybody's been cultivating. I do believe that this is more than just myself. I believe that this is more what we're all consistently working on, and what we're building to, and wherever we're at on that scale, we're doing the best that we can. And the High Priestess came in to me and said, hey, you can only do what you can do right now, and that's okay. And you can acknowledge where you're at right now, and that's also okay. And you can also understand that you do have a support system, and you can reach out to them, and somebody will show up. I have amazing friends, and I am so blessed to have that kind of a support system, that somebody would come, because I just needed a hug in that moment. And my friend sat with me, and I got to do her hair, and it was amazing, and I love her. Kiki. But the point of that is this aspect. So I like to describe it as two sides of the femininity coin in terms of the tarot deck. There's the High Priestess and the Empress. And they're like, I see the feminine archetype in both of these realms. The Empress is more of a motherly, nurturing, like the womb, Mother Earth, the creation, like everything that we spring from, everything that we're made of. That's the Empress energy. The High Priestess energy is more the everything, the stars, the Piscean, the everything that is all together, and we all flow together, and we're part of the larger consciousness, and that it's more maybe logically based, more, but intuitive logic, like the connected logic to other realms. And that's this beautiful white tiger with its glowing crystal ball in the night sky. Last quarter moon Scorpio. And so the night symbolizing subconscious realms and the deep depths of ourselves, and those autopilot things that we tend to do. The autopilot in me tends to hurt myself in one way or another, making choices or physically doing something. And the higher consciousness self of me, the intuitive self of me, said, hey, it's okay if all that you can do right now is text somebody and ask for support. And that's okay. And then we can move on from there. And here I am making this video. And I think that we all have it in us to tap into these places that allow us to go through whatever it is that we're going through, and also know that there are ways to pull ourselves out of that so we don't get stuck there forever. The High Priestess is all about that. And then the Phoenix card. So in this deck, the Phoenix card is a spirit card, and it has to do with the root chakra. It's all about releasing the past, releasing whatever's holding you down, envisioning something better for yourself, believing that it could happen, and settling into whatever grounding energy that you can while you're in the mode of transformation. So bringing it back around to the Earth card, it's like sometimes you do have to melt into the earth. Sometimes you do have to let yourself be buried alive in everything. And also, you can choose to move out of it. As long as you're alive, you have choices that you can make and things that you can do and support that you can try to find. And I know, like, I'm not trying to be ableist. I understand that there's varying degrees of what people can and can't do. But that's all the more reason for all of us to reach out to each other, to enlist each other for support and understanding, because the more that we support each other, the more we have the energy to support others, to do whatever it is that we can to show up in whatever ways that we can. For me, the diligence aspect of this card is me being able to sit here, tell you the stories that I told you, to let you know that I'm going through some things, but still I want to be here. It's important to me to commit to this, to prove to myself that I can commit to anything, including myself, including my health and well-being, to commit to sharing in the way that I can, because I believe that all of this comes around and that we need to do these things with each other, and we need to give support to each other. Mutual aid is literally everything, but we can't enlist this mutual aid without believing in ourselves and believing in our grounding and connecting to our support systems in whatever way that we can, even if the support system is literally a plant that you go hang out with, an animal that you hang out with, stepping outside. I don't know if you hear all these cars, like some sports team won something here. Sorry, don't care. But I'm really interested in the growth and the fire and the burning away of what needs to be burned away in order to feel like we can get through the day. And sometimes we can't get through the day, and those days are okay too. So Scorpio last quarter moon, fun. Okay, so I'll see you next week.